Welcome back to Sunday service. Welcome home. We're going to take you through a number of things. We actually have a camera switcher and we have one on this screen. We were advised that it would be better for folks to be able to see something while they hear something. So we have that for you. It's going to guide our lecture. As usual, please send in your questions, comments, tuition early. I want you all to stay tuned because at the end, I have a great treat for you. You've heard of the hot, crazy matrix. I'm going to show you the male-female inverse value chart. It's going to revolutionize your life, help you understand things, and it might even help you school these chicks as to the realities of the world. But first, let us start with our tradition, which is show love to those who show love to you.
We have Darius said first, super quet.
Shout out to Darius. Darius is always supporting. That boy balling like a bird, though.
And on PayPal, we have David came in. He said, tuition, just watched the breakdown of Tinder profiles from way back. Thank you for the mindset insights and tremendous game. Peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints. I'm going to have to do that one again. I kind of enjoy those Tinder breakdowns because them chicks are so crazy. Would you believe that Tinder chicks actually think that they can get a relationship on Tinder? They really think that. It's crazy. And then you have the ones that are just outright slores anyways.
Before you go, I think this is from Darius. He sent an email. He said, the conversation with the Sasson congregation who will rule the nation from station to station.
Wait, who was that?
I believe it's Darius.
Mr. Chambliss Brody that threw the bars in. First thing I want to start with is self-love. And the reason I start with this one is because I'm always asking myself, how do I make things very simple such that they're easy to understand and more importantly, easy to use? So when we talk about self-love, I was going to use the term selfish, like you should be more selfish, but it's generally a negative term. You should be selfish in an informed way, not selfish in a foolish way. Often people are selfish in a foolish way. So I say self-love, love yourself. And this is actually in line with goals. And when we're not achieving our goals, it's particularly probably because we don't have enough self-love. We don't care about ourselves to say that, you know, you deserve to be living in the home you want. You deserve to be able to provide for your kids in the way that you want. You deserve to have the most attractive woman of your dreams. And then to actually go after that. When we don't go after that, we're experiencing two things. We're generally experiencing lack of self-belief, and then we're experiencing some kind of blockage. The self-love piece, when you love yourself, you're going to go get it. Whether there's a block or anything else, you're going to figure out what that is. But the issue is that we actually don't love ourselves enough, which is why we allow ourselves to exist in a low state. You might be thinking, Marquett, I love myself. Marquett, I want the best things for myself. But do you really when you sleep in, when you should be getting up? Do you really when you don't work out, when you know you should be working out? So the self-love, especially for men, is harder to acknowledge and deal with. But often we don't love ourselves enough, which is why we exist in a low way. For women, they're really good at the self-love thing. They have pampering, spas, all these things that they talk about.
We have Joseph came in on Cash App with tuition.
Shout out to Joseph. So there's a couple things I just want to jump to this Sunday because I had a lot of things on my mind. So remember the self-love thing. That's what drives your goals. So everything we talk about is always goals. If you don't have goals, you're without guidance. Goals for a hustler is like the God. It's the guidance. It's the thing that gives you a course to walk down. How to spot/avoid poor people, which by poor, I mean evil. Marquett, you mean evil? Yeah, I actually mean evil. What are they? And when I say how to avoid them, so of course you want to avoid them. You also don't want to be one. Number one, they're gossipers and worshipers. What do I mean by gossipers and worshipers? Gossipers, they're always talking about other people. I don't even mean that it has to be negative. Sometimes they're talking about other people in general. It might even be complimentary, but it's irrelevant and it's a waste of time. There's some people in the service industry. Sometimes I might go through a resort and someone might know my name and I have made some friends and I might ask them, like, who is that person? How do they know my name? Like, oh, we were discussing you in the break room. Why? That's stupid. Oh, because you went to Carver's Steakhouse and you were there with like 7 guys and you paid the whole check and then you tipped like $500. So we're like, who is this guy? How does he have so much money? Who cares? Who cares? I didn't say this, of course, but in my head, I'm like, who cares? You could figure out what I do for a living, who I am, what my name is. That doesn't make you richer by knowing that information. And you had a whole conversation about that. A whole conversation. Total waste of your time. They're gossipers, whether it's negative gossip or even in the positive case where they're like, wow, who's this young guy? What does he do? I want to find. It's gossip. It's nonsense. You're talking about other people, small-mindedness. You're not talking about your plans, your goals, or any of that. Small-minded, childish. They're gossipers.
That email was actually from Ken because he sent a Cash App after the email. And he said, forwarding abroad over to you. Email sent also.
He said forwarding what?
Abroad.
He sent it abroad my way? Did you give him the address? She better be bad.
And we have
Show up in a, anyways, go ahead.
KYRRE.
Yes.
Sent a Cash App and said, peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. So they're gossipers. And they're even sometimes high-tech gossipers, which is to say that they're overly concerned with what other people are doing. What is Instagram other than a window into other people's lives to see constantly what they are doing? When you're talking about other people, whether it's negative or positive, you're not talking about yourself. You're not reflecting on yourself. You're not reflecting on your own goals. You're not planning. You're not building. You're not achieving mission. You're not making a name. You're worried about other people. It's a distraction. This is a high-tech form of gossiping and distraction. What is gossip? Talking about other people, trying to like take an eye into what they're doing.
Alpha Music said, peace to the saints. Debo in a tuxedo. Let the people know it's the big homie, the one and only.
Appreciate
this is going to be sensational. Shout out to the saints in attendance for making this possible.
In a real way. Shout out to the saints in attendance. I say they're gossipers and worshipers. These are both very low things. Gossipers and worshipers. Sometimes they might worship God, but really they don't worship God. Really they worship this adult male who's laying his hand on your forehead, claiming to heal you or to baptize you or to save you, when in reality, what is he really doing? It's just all a show. This man is not being healed or saved at all. This man went into church and went out of church just as stupid. He went in broke and came out broke. He went in without a plan and came out without a plan. They're worshipers of the wrong things. You worship this man. You might worship a false god. But never do you worship your goals and your focus. Never do you worship yourself. I mean, I tell you, see the God within yourself. You say God is almighty, God is all powerful. Let's see the God within you. Let me see you exercise some power. God created you, God is in you. Let me see you exercise that kind of strength. They're worshipers. They're not trying to be God. They're not trying to be like God. They're not trying to be godly. They rather worship someone else, put that in someone else. Here's another form of religious worship. Look at this. They're worshipers. Bunch of dumb broads. And here's the funny thing. Guys do this too. You know, your favorite rapper walks by. Ah! Can I get a selfie? Can you sign this? Here, say something on my IG story. They're worshipers. And most of the time we're worshiping the wrong things. What is in common for all of these persons, this is all poverty. It's all poverty mindset. And this is poverty and evil. This always leads to evil. They might start off speaking well of you. And I remember Bridget that pointed this out to me. She was like, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have a conversation with you about you in these resorts. You wear crazy suits. You spend a lot of money, for sure. And they might start off talking positively, but at some point, that hate gonna show up. At some point, it's gonna show up. And here, your girlfriend might be following you on Instagram, and it might be all good. But at some point, she's going to start using Instagram as a detective. You start worshiping this man, this other human being, putting your faith in this other man who's just a man. And then you find out he's been stealing from the church. He got a side girl, even though he's in the pulpit telling you guys to be faithful to your wife. He got an extra baby mama live across town. And then he's also a closeted homosexual having intercourse with the male choir director. You're worshiping these celebrities who don't know much more than you. They just happen to be able to sing a tune. It's all evil and poverty.
Okay, on PayPal, David is back with $50.
Baller alert.
He said, tuition, wishing blessed and prosperous day to all. Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
On Cash App, we have Rich Forever Way sent tuition, said peace to the saints, and Ivan says tuition.
Fantastic. And you can hold those till I take a pause. So just hold them up. And guys, you can keep on sending them in, but I'll take them all at once when I take a pause. How to avoid poor and evil people. So the first way is not to be one. Number 2, delusional and overvalue themselves. They believe in false equality. You know, the reason that, and I want you guys to understand delusion. Delusion means that you're not seeing reality. You're lying to the self. So delusion is where you are. Self-honesty is where you need to go. We all experience levels of delusion. Oh, absolutely. We look in the mirror, we don't really see what's there. Overvaluing themselves. I'm not trying to put down anyone's self-esteem, but I'm saying if you're in a bad situation, but you are comfortable there, or if you're low down, but you don't think you're low down, you're going to stay there. If you wrongly think that you are equal to someone you're not equal to, oh, that's the biggest issue. You're going to have a hard time in this world. You know, here's the funny thing. I'll give you an example of how a man thinking he's equal when he's not equal is problematic. It's actually going to hold you back. We saw last time I was at the boxing match, we saw Jose Benavidez and we saw David Benavidez. They're brothers. They grew up together. We know both of them are probably in the boxing gym spending equal amounts of time, but not getting equal outcomes. I watched Jose Benavidez. That was his name, right? Jose? Yes. We watched Jose Benavidez get the snot beat out of him. Then we watched David Benavidez beat the snot out of someone else. He's the A side. He was the main event. So he and his brother spent equal amounts of investment of time, energy, exercise, and focus in the boxing gym. But David got more outcome out of it, maybe because his arms are longer and his height is greater, and he might have something different in his head. But either way, he got a different outcome, which means that they're no longer equal. Boom. David is putting his time, effort, and energy into something where he has a competitive advantage. There's something about him that's allowing him to be more successful while investing the same amount of time, energy, and effort, which is to say, if I am a good-looking man and another guy is fat and ugly, and we both invest the same amount of time, energy, and effort to being a runway model, I'm going to get better results. Which is why you must always figure out where can I go or invest my time and energy where I'm going to get a greater outcome than anyone else who would invest the same amount of time and energy. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, I can't sing at all. I would love to be able to sing. Can you sing? You can sing. So if we both take singing lessons, you're going to get better outcomes. I'll get better, but you have the chance to be excellent and to be paid for singing. So I would be a fool to ever believe in equality because there is no equality. We're not the same height. We're not the same weight. We don't have the same natural talents. So to ever believe in equality, we're lying to ourselves. And it'll hurt us because what happened is Jose Benavidez, he got a check, but he got a smaller check. And he got his ass beat to get his check. David Benavidez got a big check and he didn't get his ass beat. He go to the club afterward. He ain't got a headache. So the problem is those two Benavidez brothers were raised up the same, being told with equality, oh, you guys can both be boxers. Your dad's a trainer. You can both be fighters. And Jose Benavidez is dealing with false equality, and he's suffering as a result. We often look at other people and think we're equal. We're the same. We're not equal at all. For example, if Tony Robbins, if Elon Musk, not Elon Musk, I don't find it to be so interesting, but say Tony Robbins came in here and he wanted to attend, I'll say, hold on. Let me take off this microphone. I give him this microphone. Tony, do your thing. He'd be like, no, I'm just here to watch. I don't give a shit what you're here for. You got 40, 30 years of age on me. I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars on me. Lot of experience and knowledge. I'm not going to waste my time being up here talking because I want to learn. Rather than talk and be in the spotlight, I'd rather learn. We often have so much ego and we wrongly believe in equality. And the people who are lowest among us, there's two people who have huge ego. The ones who are the lowest and the ones who are the highest. The people in the middle, they're fairly fucking normal. But the low ones who are actually low, man, they be so confident. I tell you ever been approached? I know you have. You've been approached by a fat, ugly girl? Fat and ugly at the same time. Walk up confident as hell. Talking about like, hey, Redbone. You know, she walk up confident trying to holler. But bad chicks, they be coming up to you like, you know, they be kind of nervous or, you know, they don't want to come direct with it. They don't have as much confidence, delusional confidence as a fat, ugly girl. It's fascinating. So it's like at these two levels, you have extraordinary ego. Our goal is to get our ego to a mid-range. So if Tony Robbins was here, I would hand over the mic and say, let me sit down and learn. I don't care if this is the Saint in the Center podcast. I don't care if it's the Saint in the Center show. Today is show. You the man. I want to learn. That'd be the smartest thing for me to do. I wouldn't even say it's humble. I'd say it's just smart because I want to win. Humble's fine. I'm not trying to be humble. I'm just trying to win. If being humble is helpful, I'll use it. Number 3, they're problem-focused idlers. And you can tell in their conversation is about challenge. Their conversation is about bad things. It's negative. I noticed this because I came out of poverty, and this is poverty. These people deal with problems. That's all they know. That's all they really want. I remember when I was coming out of poverty and I would listen to people talk, and I would also observe them shut down or end the conversation quickly. And I think people who grow up middle class or wealthy in America, they almost do it instinctively to where, because they were enculturated into that, they don't notice the cues in their language. Me being an outsider and a student, I had to watch and listen. And I noticed, I was like, oh, I noticed when so-and-so said that, bro kind of tuned out on them. When so-and-so said that, dude like kind of left. Like even among the saints, there's so many things that, I want to help teach over time. It looks like my phone came unplugged. I want to teach over time. Like one thing I did not know about when I was a young man, there's a such thing as saying too much. Yeah, you can say too much to where you hurt yourself. As they say, loose lips sink ships. And this is what I mean. After last Sunday service, we were chopping it up, and men, we start talking about women every now and then, right? So, we telling stories. You heard me, some of these stories start going a little bit left. And at one point, one of the saints, I ain't gonna name no names, he had just ended a good story, and then he was about to start up on another story, said the most outlandish shit. And I was like, hey, I got to get up out of here. I'm going to see you guys later, because it was my cue to go. And what I realized is that as you move up in station and status, there are some things that is not something you want to hear or talk about because it's not productive, or it just might be a little bit below you. And when I was that gentleman's age or when I was younger, I tend to say too much. And I learned over time that now you have to think before you speak. So now I have a lot of conversations with myself before I have it out loud. And a lot of times when I have a conversation with myself, I don't have anything to say. But remember, they're problem focused and they're idlers. What I mean by idlers is that they got time to be on the Instagram. They have time to be on the video games. They have time to have long conversations. They have time to create a mountain out of a mole, which is to say to create a problem out of nothing. Even last night, there was an issue with a older white woman at the valet that she created. It was the strangest thing on earth. It was sheer jealousy. And I remember thinking, I use valet just as everyone because it's faster, it's convenient and fast. And she wanted to create a problem. And I was like, you know what? This makes perfect sense because she has time. Her time is not valuable. She has nowhere interesting to be. And you need to think about this when you're dealing with people who would engage you with a problem. You should realize they don't have nowhere to be. They don't have to arrive at a goal. They don't have to achieve anything. They have nowhere to be. I'm about to write an article about two older European women I met night before last. And I just remember and I could tell that they were lower class women, because when a lower class person is accustomed to being around other lower class people and they have the privilege of being around someone who's ambitious, successful, they kind of hate your traits. They're like, hey, you walk fast. I do walk fast. I have somewhere to be. Absolutely. And you hear people say dumb things on the internet all the time, like, oh, kings don't walk fast. Wealthy people don't walk fast. Is that factual? Because I walk fast because what's going on in between often doesn't matter. It's what's at the goal is where I want to bask and be slow and take my time. For example, if I want to go to Dubai, I'm not going to go slowly to get there. I'm going to go fast as possible to get there. And then when I'm in Dubai, now let's go slow and enjoy, because this is where I want to be. I don't want to be in transit. I'm minimizing transit time. I'm maximizing time at destination. Poor people are not on their way anywhere, so it doesn't matter if they're going fast or slow. And because they're lazy and slow in the mind, going slow is their preset. What they see is a rush. I was like, baby, you think this is a rush? You ain't even seen me on fast forward. This is normal. This is my walking pace. You have to understand these people and avoid them, for they are evil and they will be a poison to you, because their great goal is to make you like them. True story. Poor people, they don't know how to allocate capital. This is a big one. I was about to get a statistic for you, and I decided not to get it, and I'll tell you why. I was gonna figure out how much money do poor people spend on cigarettes, people who are addicted to cigarettes. And I say poor. They might have some money, but they're still poor and they're still evil. How much money do they spend on cigarettes? I was about to find out. I don't smoke cigarettes, so it's not even a good use of my time to figure out because I've never smoked one, never will. So I don't want to know how much money they're losing. I just know I'm saving a lot. How much money do they spend on alcohol? And this is money direct on alcohol, money direct on cigarettes. Don't consider if you actually get sick from these things, which you will, you're going to spend more money on that. Then we got the dummies spending money on consumables that have no meaning. You buy the dumb broad the flowers last for 4 days, and now she has nothing. Maybe not even a memory. You wait 2 years later. Hey, you remember when I bought you flowers on the 4th of, when is Valentine's? 14th of February?
14th or 15th, I'm not sure.
Exactly, it doesn't matter, but whenever it is. You remember when I bought you flowers on Valentine's Day in 2019? Bitch don't remember, and she has nothing to show for it, which helps her not remember. It's a consumable that has no value, that's extremely expensive. Only rich people should be doing this if they choose, but it's still stupid. I refuse. But you have poor people doing rich people things in terms of how they allocate capital, time, money. You got to be really rich to spend money on something that you don't need, doesn't sustain you, and it hurts you. You got to be really rich. I can't afford cigarettes or alcohol or flowers or bottle service to pay for bottles that are marked up 1,000%. When you factor all of these dumb things in over a year, how much money have you lost? Surely you would have lost at least $1,000 on the low side and much more. Here's how a hustler thinks. If I was actually poor, I notice these people all the time. Hey, you got a cigarette? You got a Lucy? And often people, even other bums or people who are in poverty and might not know it, middle-class people who are impoverished thinkers, are like, yeah, I got one. I'll pull one out and smack that pack and pull it out and hand it over. And then what does the bum do? They light it up and smoke it. Well, they probably, you got a lighter? And they start smoking it. See, I'm the kind of guy, I can never be poor for long. That's why I don't have a problem saying poor people are evil. Because if I was in utter poverty today, you'd probably give me a month. I'd be poor tops for a month. And then I'll be back on after that. Because I'm the kind of motherfucker, I'll go around, hey, you got a cigarette? They're like, yeah, no, for sure. Hand me a cigarette. Thank you. Pull back up on somebody else. Hey, you need a cigarette? I got a Lucy. 50 cents. Yeah, I'm slanging these Lucy's. I'm getting them for free, and then I'm slanging them 50 cents a pop to people who are low income like myself. Next thing you know, I've borrowed 10 cigarettes today, and I sold them for 50 cents. I got extra $5. I'm also panhandling in this motherfucker, and I'm trying to catch me a lady bum, you dig? Might be able to put her on the market. We gonna get out of here. But what these dummies do, they get the Lucy and smoke it. Smoke the money, the product. Poor people are poor for a reason. They don't know how to allocate capital. Their time is a capital. They don't know how to allocate it. Their money is a capital. They don't know how to allocate it. You should be asking yourself when you're spending money on shit, like, damn, what does this invest in and what does this return me? What does it invest in and what does it return me? Even when I get dressed, I ask myself, what can I do in this outfit? If I wear a suit, I know I could get my thug on in different ways. People are going to perceive me and respect me in a different way. There's certain things I always wear a suit. If I'm trying to catch me a little young bitch, I'm not going to wear a suit. I might wear a ball cap or something like that. Might even shave the beard. You dig? I'm always asking myself, what is the best costume for this role so I can get my outcome? You keep your thinking cap on. These motherfuckers ain't thinking at all. Hey, why'd you buy that cigarette, that first one? Why'd you use that first cigarette when you were a child? You asked them, they couldn't even tell you a real answer. It's probably because they want to be cool or something goofy like that. They couldn't even tell you. Go ahead.
Okay, we have Darius is back and said, analysis of Eleanor Roosevelt's quote on smart people talking about ideas.
Right.
Also, remind me, player stories, Korean, Beyonce, Miss Submissive Talk, and Miss Ukraine, and female promiscuity.
Can you write that one down for me?
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, all of this stuff, I want you to remember about poor people and their capital allocation. Here's a great thing about money. It's infinite. It's fucking infinite. You know how much money we've sent to Israel, how much money we're sending to the Ukraine war? It's infinite. Yeah, we send it over there and we still got this country of ours is still going. Apparently the money's infinite because it's just a psychological idea. So you should be able to take this thing and use it effectively. Ideally on things that don't disappear. You smoke the cigarette, then it's gone. What do you have left except lung cancer? You drink the drink, then it's gone. What do you have left except cirrhosis of the liver? You buy the bottles. What do you have left? Some cute Instagram photos. So your girlfriend like, who's this girl in the background that was at your table? You know, what do you have left? You buy the flowers. What do you have left? You ain't even got the bitch. The bitch done ran off. You hear me? You done bought her the flowers. She done ran off eventually. Invest money in yourself. And the money goes in here in your brain. You get skills and knowledge that you can use for a lifetime. A lifetime. And here's the thing. You're not spending money. You're investing money. You spend money on something that you can use for your whole life. That's how wealthy people allocate capital. They think about it. They say, what does this do for my future? Can I hold on to this? You can't hold on to the money, but when you allocate the money and you get knowledge or skills, you can hold on to that. Go ahead.
Okay, we have Caitlin said, shout out to your mission saint. I tune in ASAP every time I can.
I appreciate
I just
that.
ran into the fold maybe 5 to 6 months ago. I'm coming into next year fully locked in with the game you provided. Just bought Assassin T.
You just bought Assassin T?
Yeah.
In a real way. And don't even wait till next year to be locked in. Lock in right now.
Okay, we have
You heard
Joshua.
me?
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have Joshua sent a cash out with tuition.
Shout out to Joshua.
We have Roland sent tuition as well.
Shout out to Roland.
And on
It's
PayPal,
good
we
to hear
have
from Roland. It's been a little while.
We have Miles said, peace to the saints. Saint, how do you avoid being jaded after all you've been through? You went through a lot in the black box. Just asking for wisdom from an OG to a young buck with a lot to learn.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, here's the funny thing is once you understand what life actually is, which is good and bad, and you learn to expect both of them, then the question is, how will you react? Being jaded, nothing really bad has happened to me. I don't know if you guys have read The Black Box, but I came out without any scars for the most part. Like I got a couple scars from being stabbed, but I didn't get stabbed in my face. You know, like I still look pretty good. I'm in good physical health. I can have anything that I want in the world. So there's no need to act like I've been crippled by life. And so many people who haven't been crippled by life, they act like they are. It's just a representation of themselves. And so when you experience someone who's pessimistic or jaded, that's a poor person. That's a poor person. And one of the things I'm always focused on is infinite, to make that real in my mind, to know that, you know, everything I want, there's an infinite supply of it. There's an unlimited supply of money. There's an unlimited supply of beautiful women. So what is there to be unhappy about? People who are jaded, those are the people who are holding on to their problems, and they're holding on to their problems as an excuse, as an explanation of why they didn't get to where they want to be. That's why people love racism, because if you didn't grow up in a ghetto like I did, you didn't grow up poor like I did, and you're still black, you could at least say, oh, they didn't hire me because I'm black. Your ass could have grew up middle class, mom and dad was working good jobs, and you could still fall back on, they didn't hire me because I'm black. Here's the kicker. Now you got people saying, oh, they didn't hire me because I'm white, or they fired me because I'm white. I'm like, God damn, everybody got the excuse. It's amazing. And here's how crazy our world is. You got black people complain because they dark skinned. Oh, people make fun of me because I'm dark. You got light-skinned people complain because they light skinned. It's like, motherfucker, nobody's happy. And what I figured out is that we can all find an excuse. We can all find an excuse, but the greatest among us are searching for solutions, but the even greater among us are looking at their goals. Because when you're looking at a solution, it relates to a what? A problem. When you're looking for solutions, you're still problem oriented. I'm just looking at goals, eyes on the prize. Go ahead.
Okay, we have Rick came in on PayPal. He said, peace to the saints tuition.
Peace to the saints.
And Isaiah said, is the course rising in price every day? I let him know it's not rising every day, but it will
every
continue.
Every day, damn, that would be foul. I ain't even got time to change the numbers every day. I ain't got time like
there
that.
is something new for this course where they can pay in installments.
Yeah, they can pay monthly, yes. Mm-hmm. Now, number 4, rich people are proactive. They're trying to figure things out. Poor people are reactive. Difference is, this means I did fill in the blank. I took this action. That's proactive. Reactive is, this happened to me. They did this to me. Masculine, feminine, strong, weak, do something, wait for something. Rich people prepare for problems in the future. I don't even like that. This is an infographic. I didn't make this. I wouldn't even have said this. Wouldn't use the word rich. It's a bit tacky. I would say wealthy. The wealthy prepare for the outcomes they want in the future. Those outcomes being goals. The poor do nothing. This is critical. They don't do shit except what they're told to do. Poor people don't do anything except what they're told to do. Who's telling poor people what to do? Their manager, their boss. There's one person not telling them what to do. That's the problem. Themselves. Boss University, first thing I teach you to do is be a boss of yourself. Be able to tell yourself what to do. Hey, Marquett, you need to wake up at this time. You need to exercise every day. You need to do this. You need to meet this person. Yes, they do nothing. And the funny thing, they complain. God damn it, they got a lot of complaints. As do women. The funny thing is that they don't even think they're complaining when they're complaining. They think they're expressing themselves. That's why I'm making a femininity course so they can understand what the hell a complaint is. God damn it, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, we have DeHaven came in on Cash App. He said, peace to the saints, Sunday bars.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Haven. Now, here's a funny thing, and this one is really important for men in particular. Wealthy people don't help complainers. See, the thing is, when you live in a constant state of negativity and complaint, everything you say is complaint, and you don't even realize it. Black people, for example, love black people, but they're hilarious. Hey, how's it going today? They say shit that don't even make sense. Oh, man, I couldn't call it. What? The fuck does that mean? Hey, how's it going today? Oh, man, another day, another dollar. The fuck does that mean? Hey, man, how's it going? Man, I'm making it. Damn, that bad? You just making it, huh? How's it going? Oh, man, I'm hanging in there. You ever heard that hanging in there? God damn, it's that bad, huh? And these are their cultural responses. These are culturally programmed responses. I'm hanging in there. Damn, that's bad. And you're so conditioned to that. When I asked you, how are you doing? You didn't even take out 3 seconds to say, how am I doing? How do I feel? What is going on with me? To give a thoughtful or sincere response or to self-reflect, you've been in a perpetual state of hanging in there. Your mama was hanging in there. Your daddy was hanging in there. Now you hanging in there. You never thought of anything being good or positive. And when I mentioned to you that class is real, I'm certainly classist. It's real. I've observed it. And even and I love black women, but I notice, you take a upper middle class white girl from Orange County, you take a black woman, even if she grew up middle class, the tonation and the nature of the response, if you say certain things or you make certain offers, is different. You tell a black woman, I absolutely love black women. You tell a black woman, hey, you want to go out 8 o'clock Friday night? Yeah, sure. Or yeah, I'm down. Or yeah, what restaurant you want to go to? They accept, it's the affirmative, cool. Upper class white girl from Orange County, hey, you want to go out Friday night, 8 o'clock? Absolutely. I'd love to. Oh, interesting. Major difference. Absolutely. Like, I'm all the way in. I'd love to. Like, thank you for this offer. I'm happy to accept it. There's a different feeling that I get as the one making the offer. And I observed that language. I said, damn, you know what? Both of them said yes. It's rarely about what you do. It's about how you do. I got a certain feeling when she said, I'd love to. It's like, damn, like, I must be important. Like, she makes me feel good. Goddamn, I'm somebody. I didn't invite her out. She feels good about it. How do I give other people that feeling? That's the feeling that makes them want to be around me. That's the feeling that makes me important because I'm making them feel important, relevant. And so then I thought back, like, well, how were you raised when you talk like that? I had the good fortune. You read my book, The Black Box. You can get it on Amazon at low cost. You can get an ebook at thesassin.com. I lived in a hood around all black people with a single mother on dope and a father in prison. So I experienced that. And then every other weekend I would go to my uncle's house. He was upper middle class, black man. He happened to be married to an Italian woman, had a son, nuclear family, in a nice neighborhood. And I got to observe the differences and listen to the differences and talk, and also the differences in the way that your mother relates to you as a child and conditions you with language and is excited. Like, I don't ever remember coming home and my mom seemed like excited to see me. Not to say my mom's a bad person. She's just a regular black woman. She's like an everyday black woman. It's not a function of race. It's not racially defined. It's economically defined. It's socioeconomically defined. It's a culture of poverty. I come home from school, my mom like, what'd you learn today? Basically, what'd you learn today? But it was never like that excitement that I was home. You come in the house, Aunt Leslie, it's like her whole motherfucking dating just got started now. Like shit is cracking. I remember every time I show up, Aunt Leslie, Mark, it's so nice to see you. She bend down, big old titties, bend down. I want the titties gonna fall out and kill me. She bend down, it's so nice to see you. Oh, come here. Put her arm around you, walk your little ass over here. I was like 7 years old. Walk your ass over, like, oh, let me show you what I have for you. Like, and she'll bust them in a little tin can with a bunch of fucking cookies, every flavor and shit. She'd be like, oh, I got the chocolate and you like pecan chocolate chips and oatmeal cookies for you. I know you love those. I had the M&M ones for Anthony. I make these for Jim. He doesn't like to eat cookies, but I made them some. And she was just so thrilled to see you. And I think, God damn, this is the best in sales. This is the best in human communication. And your kid's going to grow up with happiness and self-confidence and optimism and positivity and knows how to treat and appreciate people based on that. Not being rude and aggressive and unpleasant and low emotional intelligence. You know how many goddamn problems you can solve being nice or smiling to people? In the impoverished ghetto, you don't learn about being nice and smiling to people at all. In fact, oppositely, I learned to keep on a cold killer look. I didn't even figure out you should smile in photos till I got to college. I remember they're taking photos, and as soon as the photo goes, my first thought is like, penitentiary rules in effect. My first thought is like, I'm looking at the camera like this, like it's a mug shot or something. White girl's like, why don't you smile? Because they're happy. And I spent my whole life not being happy. Why don't you smile? And in my head, I was saying, I don't want y'all thinking I'm a sucker. They don't need to walk around this motherfucker cheesing out here. But being happy is important. And when you're treated well and people put that love into you, listen, they put that love into you. Remember that first slide? Self-love. They put that love into you. Makes you feel like you're important, you're worthwhile. And when you feel like you're important, you're worthwhile, you think you deserve the things that are up here. And you don't even think twice about it because you grew up with the things that are up here. And every time your mom saw you, like, oh, Corey, how was school? You learned, oh, you're so smart. Show me what you learned today. You feel good about yourself. You love yourself. And because you love yourself, you want the best for yourself. And because you want the best for yourself, you work on those goals. It all wraps in. But if you came home and your mom was kind of like low key, like, welcome back, nigga, welcome back to this poor ass house. No, I ain't got no gifts waiting for you. There's a whole different experience. And this is not just black people. This is poor people of every stripe. They're poor for a reason. They have poverty here. Go ahead.
Okay, Caleb came in on Cash App. He said, look forward to these Sunday lives like the trending news segments.
Absolutely.
Peace to the saints. Darius is back. He said not to get like Austin D, but as a man, should you smile more to be more appealing?
I highly recommend you take the communications course in as much as I'm going to go through all of those things. The first piece, we're going to talk about nonverbal communication. But before that, you have to understand mindset. Mindset is going to define a number of things. It's going to define your confidence level. It's going to define how you look at others. It's going to define how others look at you. There's a lot you can read into someone just by how they make eye contact with you. Are they breaking eye contact? Are they even making eye contact? I'm not going to lie to you. There's some people, I find them to be so unimportant, I don't even look them in the face. You hear me? Yeah, I ain't going to lie to you. They so unimportant, I don't even look them in the face. They're not even worth my full attention. They be saying something like, yeah, for sure. All of those things matter. Now, when you say smiling, there is context in which things are more appropriate and less appropriate. So I couldn't effectively tell you like, yeah, you should smile more, because that's not the case. But in the case I described, I'm in college, I'm with, my friends and a bunch of hoes, and everybody in there is, Friday night, everybody's slizzard, like, yeah, let's take a selfie. And it's like 15 people in the picture, everybody like doing goofy poses. And I'm in there like, yeah, you should smile, man. Pay attention to what's going on out here. There are certain situations. So I recommend you check that out. The course will drop January 10.
Okay, it's linked in the chat.
Fantastic.
We also have Sajatal came in on Cash App and said, peace to the saints, looking classy as always.
I appreciate that. Peace to the saints. The rich don't help complainers. And I want to just clarify what we mean here. Complainers are like, I'll give you a great example, actually. Last night, A guy could have made an easy $100. I pull up to the valet and he says, hey, the valet is closed. It's only open for hotel guests. Like, you're going to have to go to Self Park. Now, I was like, in my head, I was like, that's not quite right. That's not about to happen. I'm not going to Self Park, number one. And number two, you're lying. It's not only hotel guests. You also allow VIPs. I'm a VIP here. So I already know I'm going to get it. Now, here's the difference. He came up here telling me what I couldn't do and what wasn't going to happen. He could have had a money-making opportunity. Then I said, okay, yeah, but I'm not going to go to Self Park. So what are my options? So smart people, you ask questions, you drive the conversation. I'm goal focused. My goal, I'm using valet. I said, yeah, but if I was going to valet, how could I do that? Oh, well, you could take one of our premium spots for $100. And I know that $100, give him cash, is going to go directly to him. But here's the one problem. It's not that I didn't have $100. I had plenty of cash on me. It's fight night. It's betting night. Plenty of cash. I don't like you now. Was that funny? It's like, I don't like you. So I'd rather burn $100 than hand you $100. I'd rather piss on $100 than hand you $100. I don't like you. So I won't give you this $100. And just side note to everyone, being liked is really important. It's very important. So yeah, you tell me that I can give you $100, put my car in front. I do this all the time. Here's the difference. Say I drove up and you went middle-class white mom on me. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, man, nice car. Yeah, you here for the fight? Oh, it's going to be a great fight. Hey, we just ran out of valet spots. We only got the Self Park. Yeah, nice car. It's just $100 if you want it. I love to have you up here. If not, there's Self Parking. You're just gonna swing up and just make a right, and we got plenty of Self Parking spots. So let me know, how can I help you? Boom! You just made $100. You just made $100. Easy though, in like 10 seconds, just by the way you approached. And more importantly, you're at work. What's the goal of being at work? Make some fucking money, right? You don't, motherfucker, come up in an expensive car and you're over here talking about like, hey, you can't valet. You're going to have to go to Self Park. The whole time you knew you could have sold me a $100 spot. Why didn't that cross your dumb ass mind? Here's me. You could have rolled up in a piece of shit Toyota. I'm going to get that $100 out you. I'm going to get it out you. Because you didn't pull up the valet. I already know you got at least 30 or 40 on you. Because valet on a fight night is a minimum of 30 at the shittiest place on earth. And then go up to 50, 55. So I know you got it on you. So you didn't pull up in that piece of shit Toyota. As soon as you pulled up, hey, how you doing? You here for the fight? Oh, man, you going for Benavides or you going for – yeah, me too. No, that's awesome. Valet is full. We do have a spot up top. It's $100, a little expensive, but you already know valet's 40. So you put on 60. When you come out the fight, it's going to be a lot of people trying to get their cars. You don't have to wait for yours. It's going to be right here. So I know it's 40, a little bit more, and I know the fight tickets are expensive. So shit, you already going up. Boss up. Give them an option. Lift them up. Lift them up. Because listen to me. A person who drives a piece of shit Toyota, they don't like to spend $100 on parking, but they can. And tonight you will. Because I'm going to make you feel like a boss. Yeah, you might have pulled up in that piece of shit Toyota talking to me. You're going to feel like a boss. How are you, sir? Oh, you're here for the fight. Oh, those tickets are super expensive. I'm glad you were able to get them. Like, I hope, I can go to the next fight because I love Benavides. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make you going to feel good. You're going to be ready to crack open that. Oh, and your old lady sitting there too. And I say like, oh, yeah, valet's $40, but, it's just an extra 60. Oh, you're going to want to feel like a boss. You're going to pull that shit out. You're going to give it to me because I want it. I want it and I need it. Absolutely. And you'll hear dumb people, poor people all the time. They say things like, oh, if you're rich, why do you keep working or why do you need money? Nigga, because I want some more money. I got money, but nigga, I got to get more. Half of it just because I want it. It's a sport. Just like boxing. They beating people ass. At some level, they like beating people ass. You hear me? At some level, they like it. The best ones. Like you watch Benavides in there, even his younger brother who's getting his ass beat, he starts smiling during the match. He enjoying himself. A hustler gonna hustler. A hustler gonna hustler. A hustler gonna hustle. Haters gonna hate. Liars gonna lie. Winners gonna win. I'm just trying to do what I do. You heard me? If I stop hustling for money, that'll let you know I was never a hustler. Wherever you find me, you don't find me earning. And I don't give a fuck if it's a $10 earning, a $10,000 earning, a $10 million earning. I want all of them. because I could stack them up. You could stack up enough $10 bills. You paid. Go ahead.
We have limitless aspirations, said Peace to the Saints, tuition for the offering plate.
In a real way. Shout out to the real ones. Remind me to go get that mail over there. They're charging me to hold my mail. It's crazy.
Oh.
And I almost got annoyed because they're charging me to hold my mail in this locker. But then I realized, I was like, they can't do their business unless I collect my mail. They can't accept more mail. And when you try to think through systems like an intelligent, reasonable, rational person in a good mood, and as a businessman, I say, okay, well, if I leave my mail in there, no one else can get their mail in there. So as a business, they need my mail out. So they're charging me. I understand, I appreciate, and I accept that. Poor people thinking, oh, damn, they trying to hit me. Motherfuckers charging me $3 a day just to hold my mail. Like, poor people stress out over dumb things. They don't use understanding. You know what I'm saying? When you understand human beings and you don't expect a human being to be anything different, I expect human beings to be dishonest, lazy, undisciplined, delusional. All those, I expect that. So they never surprise me. It doesn't bother me. I expect an average woman to be narcissistic, like overvalue her sense of, purpose. And what do you want to do? Oh, I want to stop the climate change. Damn, you can do all that, baby. This bitch thinks she God. She thinks she God. She gonna stop the climate change. Who the fuck are you? Bitch, don't you know there was an ice age before? Like, did we cause it? Can we stop that? Like, are you fucking crazy? Bitch, I got hit with 2 hurricanes. You think you can stop this shit? The fuck are you? Meteorologists can't even tell if it's gonna rain tomorrow. You feel me? They can't tell us tomorrow if it's going to rain. You're about to stop the goddamn climate change. These hoes are insane.
Heels In came in on Venmo, and I think we did forget to acknowledge him
Yeah,
last
shout out to
time. So
Heels
Heels
In
In, thank you for the last support as well.
Absolutely. You caught up there? Fantastic. Yeah. Rich people don't help complainers. Motherfucking complainers show what they hand out. Help me, give me this. I need this. No, nobody cares. And I'll tell you a secret about wealthy people, something they truly do believe. This is a secret. I don't even know if I should be saying this. I always talk to you guys about hierarchy. Whether they realize it consciously, wealthy people do believe that poor people should be poor. Marquett, how do you know that? Well, look at all the basketball players, the black basketball players and football players and celebrities who made it out of their hood. Did they go back and enrich the hood? No, they bought some chains and some whips, which is why they're slaves, right? They bought some chains and some whips and went to the club and, did all this stuff and then rapped about it so poor people could hear about the things they can't do. But they didn't go back and invested a bunch of money because they fundamentally believe that you're poor, you should be poor, and I'm not going to give my money to you. Same thing for Floyd. Floyd has a tremendous amount of money. He ain't go back to Grand Rapids, Michigan and say, hey, I want to rebuild the whole neighborhood and give all you poor, dumb fucks housing. I'd like to do that for you because you deserve it. No, he didn't do that because you don't deserve it. And he knows you don't deserve it. And he knows, having been where you were and got up out of it, he understands it's possible and understands your nature, which is why he's going to let you stay there. They don't ever say it, but that's what it is. And you hear dumb black folks like, we don't ever help each other. Yes, we do. Upper class black people help upper class black people. Middle class black people help middle class black people. And poor black people, they argue and fight and kill each other. Just like poor white people argue, fight, and kill each other. This is what poor people do. They do poor people shit. Okay, so nobody's going to help you. Focus on solutions, and they'll support you, which is they show up and offer some value. I love showing up with this, not, hey, what can I do for you? It's a good question if that's all you can think of. But if you know specifically, you've observed something like, hey, I noticed you don't have fill in the blank. I can do that at no cost, and let them know it's no cost, because this is what a lot of people do, especially slimy salespeople. They show them and say, oh, hey, do you need someone to do this, this, and this? You're like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay, great. I can do that. It's just going to cost you $10,000. Like, whoa, bro. Like, if you're selling me something, let me know. I can afford it. Just let me know off rip, but don't make it feel like you're doing me a favor or you're being kind to me. Don't try to use a facade of kindness and then make a sale, because it's not going to work, because I don't trust you now. I'd rather you just show up. Tell me what the price is. Tell me what your offer is. People who have a good offer in business, you never have to be price shy. You have a good offer. Just say what it is. People who don't have a good offer, oh, they be bullshitting you, don't they? You know, like they're like, yeah, for just 3 easy payments of $9.99, you're going to get this and you're going to get this. And we'll give you 20% off Black Friday deal. You don't ever walk into Hermes and there's a sale. There's no sales ever. Are there?
No.
Never, right?
Never.
And in fact, they don't even let you buy certain stuff. They're like, who the fuck are you?
You have to buy before
you can walk in with the money. I got money. I had a homie named Kurt. I remember one time we was in Mexico, right? I used to go to Tijuana when we were 16, right? Be off some hood shit, like 3 of us. You'd be like, Quet, how you live in the hood? You going to Mexico at 16. You didn't need a passport. It was different then. So I go in at 16, me and the homies. We going for various reasons, legal and illegal. So we go into Mexico, meet a homie Corey, who's a gangster, and the homie Kurt, who's just a random nigga who happened to be a child acting star, right? So we go into Mexico. We do it all kind of turned up shit. It's like 4 a.m. The Federales pulled us over, right? While we were in there driving, it's a long story. We took some white girl's Volvo. It was like her parents' Volvo. Just drove that bitch into Tijuana, lit. So we in there, the Federales pull us over, they make us get out the car, and they tell us all kind of shit. Like, we're going to take you to jail, and whoop this nigga. Kurt's like, I got money. I got money. Me and Corey lead. I'm like, nigga, no. Nigga, no. Like, I got money. Anyways, I say that to say this. Your ass could be in Hermes like, I got money. And they won't accept your money for certain things, which is to say, if you don't have a history built up with them of things you've purchased in the past, you can't purchase the thing you really want. Same thing with Rolex. If you want a certain Rolex, you cannot buy the gold on gold presidential because you haven't bought enough Rolexes. So they're like, who the fuck are you? The money does not matter at this point. So what we have to understand is that status, time invested, those things do matter. Poor people have no sense of this. Go ahead.
Isaiah said, game to fire. I had a intuition.
In a real way.
I'm going to be getting the communication course. Marcos talked me into it. I'll have the game for life in your voice.
In a real way.
And then on
life.
There you
in
go.
A real way.
On PayPal, we have Amir said, peace to the saints. Thank you for the lecture, Saint. The fit is clean.
I appreciate that.
This is a Vietnam one, correct?
You said what?
Vietnam?
This one? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I love the double breast nowadays, the double breast and the wide lapel. It gives you a level of looking square and boxy that looks good on a man.
And we have
some of these hoes look boxy, though. It's terrible. They might not be women. Go ahead.
We have none of the above said into the collection plate.
In a real way. Appreciate you. Number 4, better to fail at actually, this is a quote from yours truly. I guess I messed up the slide. But anyways, better to fail at something than to be successful at nothing. Yeah, that's what are poor people doing? Nothing. So they never fail. They never fail because they don't do shit. And here's the funny thing about poor people. They show as hell will sit back and look at you. Oh, he messed that up. Oh, I can't believe he blew that bag. Oh, he had a chance and he messed it up. They got so much to say because they're the audience. They're the audience of life. They're never on the field. They're never in the boxing ring. They're in the crowd every time. So they are successful, but they're successful at doing nothing. They never do anything. If you're a real one, you're going to fail. Absolutely. Failure is the process of success. But fail at doing something. This guy, he got his ass beat for sure. And I know he got beat for sure because I've seen bloody spit fly out his mouth. Bam! I'm like in the crowd, like, God damn, bro, control your spit, my boy. He was getting mollywopped. It was, oh my Lord. But he dared to be great. He tried to take the king off the throne. You're gonna have to show up with some shit to do that. Now he showed up. His army apparently wasn't quite up to the task, but he tried it though. I'd much rather be a lion that lives for a day than a lamb that lives forever, every day being the same. Yeah, he tried to be great and he failed, but he tried to do something. And here's the funny thing though. When you do nothing, you get nothing. When you do nothing, you get nothing. You might fail at something, but you can still get something. Here, check this out. He made money. Yeah, he failed and still got paid. What? Yeah, he failed and still got paid. Yeah, he still got paid. More money than any one of these dumb bastards that's watching them. When I was at the fight, I'm always looking around, studying and thinking. I'm looking around. I was like, I'm just calculating like, like okay, my seats were $1,000. Okay, my seats was $1,000. There's Floyd. His seats probably were not cheap, but he also probably didn't pay for them. Okay, cool. There's the people who want to be close to Floyd. They pay for their seats for sure. They paid for their seats so they could sit by Floyd. They gave Floyd the seats free, and these motherfuckers paid so they could be by Floyd. Okay, cool. So that's a lot of money there. Then you got some, they spent some money too. Okay, there's a lot of money being made here. He lost, but still got paid. And I'm in there enjoying the bout, but also thinking about like, how does one make money here? What are the other opportunities here? Like, what do I want while I'm sitting here that I don't have, that I can add to this experience? Now, me, I have a lot of businesses going, but most people don't have a lot of businesses going. So I'm just thinking these thoughts because this is how I think. I'm not going to execute on these businesses, but this is how I think. But I'm just sitting there like, what if I wanted some nachos right now? I got to tell these 3 fat hoes to stand up, and I got to slide by their fat bodies while they're like yelling and cheering and gyrating, their fats jiggling around. I got to slide in between these fat hoes and then walk way up those stairs and then get in line and wait to pay a high price for food I don't even really want. That seems like a bit of work. How can I make that more frictionless? I was asking myself, I was like, this is just because I'm a genius business mind. If I actually had an infinite number of lives, I'd be a trillionaire many times over. It's just that what you have to understand is it does matter what you're born into. There's just certain places that are very difficult to get if you're born too far back in the race. When you look at people who are highly successful and you look at their parentage, like if you look at Bill Gates, you'll find, there's no surprise he ended up where he ended up. You look at Elon Musk, look at his parents. There's no surprise he ended up where he ended up. You look at Tate, look at his father. There's no surprise he ended up where he ended up. There are very few like me who come from actual dirt. There's such a long distance to go. But anyways, we only have one life. Make your next move your best move. I'm sitting in the chair. I'm saying to myself, we got Uber Eats if I was out at my house, and someone can come bring me Uber Eats if I order it. Why can't I Uber Eats to this chair that I'm sitting in so I don't have to miss the fight or get up and slide between these fat hoes and go up all these stairs? Shouldn't I be able to just on my phone just type in like, nachos, order 3, and then send the money on Cash App and then like a $5 service fee? And then some nice young woman come down and she, looks down the row and she has a bag that says seat 5, seat 6, and then you just hand it down and they pass it down and I just get my food. I bet orders of food would go up astronomically because the only reason I don't go get food is because this motherfucker Andre is getting his ass kicked, and I don't think he's gonna last. If I get up, I'm gonna come back. He's gonna be knocked the fuck out. I'm wasting $1,000 on these tickets because this motherfucker getting his ass beat. He about to go out any minute. So I'm not getting up. Those are the kind of business ideas that a real hustler is thinking. The dumb fat broads next to me, they're there saying dumb shit whole time, dumb shit. There's an abuelita on my right side, like 2 chairs down. She over here like. Because the fight before that, there's a black guy and a Latino guy. She Mexican, so she going for the Latino guy off rip because people are provincial. She's over like, you're embarrassing us. Now granted, if her old fat ass was in the ring, even when she was young, she'd be getting her ass kicked, right? Women gonna criticize shit that they can't do because we never expect women to do much, right? If I was criticizing, somebody might turn around like, can you beat him? Which is a real legitimate question for a man. Can you get in that ring and beat him? Then shut the fuck up. But her old fat ass, you're not going to say, can you get in there? Because she's going to say, well, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. Girls don't fight, which is actually a legitimate answer. And so they're going to continue talking shit because that's their whole thing. They can be in the audience of life and still get all the best things. I'm sitting in $1,000 seats next to some fat hoes. They're friends and family of fighters. And next to some old woman with a bad attitude, mother of a fighter. Their seats are comped. So, okay. But do something, because if you're a man, you got to do something. If you're a woman, you just sit back and talk shit. Poor people talk about action, but they never do it. And you know what this means is that they're liars. This is the truth. You will never meet a poor person that's not an actual liar. They lie about what they do, what they have, who they are. They're actual liars. You will never you might meet rich people who are liars. You might. You will guaranteed only find liars at the bottom. Because part of it is the human being has an ego. We have to be able to explain a story. We have to give ourselves a story that makes us feel good such that we don't end it. Right? Because if we tell ourselves a story about how bad things are and they really are bad, what are we going to do? We're going to end it. So there's a survival mechanism in the human psyche that makes us at some level pump ourselves up so we can keep on going and surviving. So if you're a poor person who's poor because you've been behaving with low morals, you got to lie. You got to lie. You got to lie about why you're not winning, lie about why you didn't do this and that. You have to lie. I can't tell you how many times people say things and I don't trust it at all. Oh, I'm going to do this when I get that, or when my money get right. Like everything's always in the future with them. I don't like to hear people who talk about the future too much. Be an action taker instead of a big talker. Rich will respect you. And what that means is, I could say that I'm going to do you a favor, or I could show up and do the favor. Because the truth is, people lie so much, sadly. Most people don't believe anything. I remember one time I was in London. I meet a gorgeous girl in London. And I told her, hey, I'm going to this country afterward. She's like, I'm from that country. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, I'll see you there next week. She was like, if she was black, she would have said, nigga, please. Like, that's how she was. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to that country. I'll see you there next week. She was like, she gave me that like, nigga, you're not going to this random ass little country. You just saying that because I said I'm from. You're not going there. Sure enough, I ended up there. Why? Because everyone's a liar. People say things they don't follow through. And if you're not able to be honest, just shut the fuck up. Now, here's the issue. We lie about the good things about ourselves, and sometimes we lie about our problems and the size of them. It causes us to break down. I always like to think of it this way. This is what keeps me going. If I encounter a challenge or a problem, which I have many, we all do, right? I always ask myself, I took an L, but was it a big L? Did I lose my life? No, because if I was dead, I wouldn't even be able to think of this. So I'm still alive, which means I can still fight. Did I lose a limb? I got all my limbs. You might say, Marquett, well, why does that matter? Well, if your ass loses a limb, shit gonna be different, right? Like if you wanted to be a boxer and your ass is off one of these, like it's, you can't box with one leg, okay? You ain't gonna get the same hose you used to get with one leg, okay? Your stroke game is different because you can't get settled. Like things are different in life. So if you lose a limb, it's a factor. Did you lose a loved one? Like if your mama died, that can destabilize you psychologically. But if your mom's still alive, shit, let's keep trucking. You ain't take one of these L's. Life is good. You being a bitch. Whatever you think your problem is, write it down. You can assess the full size of it and actually get going. If you didn't lose your life, a limb, or a loved one, you can keep trucking. You shouldn't even be bothered. I don't care what happened to you yesterday. If you ain't lose one of these L's, you shouldn't even be bothered. You should have went to sleep disappointed and woke up like, fuck it, let's go. New day, born again. When I say limb, because like this is a character from a thing it's called In Living Color. Handyman. This is back in the day when you could laugh at shit. That's funny. That nigga show up as a superhero. This is funny as hell. He used to be flying like I'm not getting into it. He used to fall in the window. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, so look, so you got problems, right? So everybody has problems. If your problem wasn't this, you're good. But here's the thing. If you lose a limb, you still got to keep living. Like me, if I end up just so everybody knows this, if I ever end up in like a major accident or something, I'm on life support, let me go. Pull that fucking plug. If whoever's in charge, mother, wife, relative, if they ain't real enough to pull the plug, just going to snatch that fucking plug out. I don't want to wake up not being the same. If I have an issue with my shit right here, you heard me? Nah, pull the plug. If they shit bag me, pull the plug. If I lose a leg, pull the plug. Arms though, I'm good. Like I could go without one arm, but I prefer not to. But I could do it. So just let me wake up and figure it out. But everything else, pull the plug. Okay, I'm just saying this is a message to the public, just in case some shit happened to me, which it might. Go ahead.
Darren sent tuition on Cash App. It said, peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
Giovanni came in with $50 on Cash App.
Baller alert.
And said, peace to the saints. Preach, minister. Thank you for Sunday service. This one especially, as I was in need of some words from the big homie. This ism is like gospel. Peace to the saints. Worldwide. Sassin or none.
In a real way.
We also have Wade said, Quet, thank you for starting the Sunday service series. Listening to this as I'm reviewing my goals for the week, the ism is pure today, authentic, insightful, and entertaining as usual. Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. Appreciate that. Now, as you encounter problems, I don't want you to be problem focused. I don't even want you to be solutions focused. I want you to be goal oriented in a real way. Now, here's a challenge, especially when you grow up in poverty. God damn it, there's some things that just gonna mess with you. Brain food. Now, granted, yeah, there are actual foods that help you with your cognitive sharpness. But I realize we grow up with so much poison in the West, in the African-American lumping class, and this is spread because the African-American is disproportionately influential in global culture. You see, I run some tests on myself every now and then. I was having some troubles getting to my workouts. I was asking myself, what am I feeding my brain? Feeding it a healthy diet of inward music. I'm locked up, they won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up, which is actually a nightmare of mine. Yeah, I always figured, I've been in holding cells, but I've never been in the big house. I always thought at some point I got to go. Not like I want to go, but at some point they're going to get me in there because I'm the only one I know that ain't been in there. And my grandma went, my mama went, my daddy went, all my friends went, all my cousins went. It seemed like at some point they got a cell for me. Like, hey, we dusting it off for you. So it's a nightmare. But then we got these songs that we sing, and songs are spiritual. And we sing it on repeat. It's like programming our mind. I'm locked up. It doesn't put me in a positive mood. It's like martial music. You wake up, sing that, you might even be vibing to it, but it doesn't make you happy or optimistic or energize you. But, and I'm not, recently you guys saw messing with this Sean Paul. Shonda Ball, yes, the girls in Simba. I messed around, put on some Sean Paul, and I just kind of like, this kind of get me going. Like, because he's not talking about being in prison, a place I don't want to go for sure. He talking about these Jamaican thoughts, which I don't mind dealing with some Jamaican thoughts. In fact, he got some bad hoes in the video. It's a good visual. Like, don't we all want some of these things? So it's like the difference in brain food and the way it makes you feel. And then you got Forensic Files, these negative ass TV shows. I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother always used to watch Forensic Files, or not Forensic Files, Unsolved Mysteries. It used to creep me out when I was a kid, right? I used to be like, Grandma, you watching that show again? And all it talks about is how people died and they never solved it. That's creepy as hell, right? Like, that nigga's still out there. The boy done been out there taking girls' vagina, killing everybody. He's still on the loose. You want to hear about this? And then I was very unpoisoned. And so I could see that it was poison because it didn't feel right. It was creepy as hell. Now as an adult, you've seen so much. You be watching Forensic Files, eating cake and ice cream. Like, your ass is down bad. Listening to murder and killing right before you do what? Go to sleep. Then you go to sleep. It penetrates and percolates through your subconscious. Then you wake up wondering, why do I not feel positive, good, and optimistic? I've just been watching murdering, killing, and death for a couple hours, then went to sleep to reflect on it. Last thing I thought of. Or you could feed your brain good humor. Laughter is medicine for the soul. There is something good about being happy and smiling. It's a simulation like this. It's nice when you can be at home in our era. We're fortunate. You can be at home, no one around you, not doing anything. You can turn on something good and positive and start belly laughing, deep laughter. And you feel good in that instance by you choosing to feed your brain good things. Or I'm locked up, black ass nigga in a jail cell. Like, who wants that? Like, come on. But the music be good as hell though, don't it? The problem is this. Starting with that self-love piece, when you don't have enough love, you're not going to take the actions to show yourself love by achieving your goals. We have all kinds of ways that we procrastinate. It's either, I'm even guilty of the same. Like, for example, I've convinced myself that I'm traveling around the world. I want to find the perfect place for Assassin headquarters. Like, when we want to build this campus, bunch of land, have different places people can take residency, and then also have some places where tourists can come in, make this beachfront thing. Basically, it'd be like kind of like a bit of a resort and a university type campus for the intellectually enabled, the creatives, the doers in the world. But I'm like going around like, where do I Because I know there's a tiered process. I got to first get an apartment there to just see if they hit me with some taxes when I buy an apartment. So what are the taxes? What are the changes in weather and politics? And then go buy some land. And then we'll have to build from scratch. I haven't even gotten started on which country is it. That's called the paralysis of analysis. I don't really have time to visit 190 countries. I need to at least just pick one and just get started. Maybe it's the wrong one. That's fine. Because maybe it's the wrong one and I start building and I realize I have a grander vision. Cool, go to another country, build it again. Even the wrong goal leads to the right place. The worst thing is to have no goal. The worst thing is to have no goal. It's like having no God. You have no guidance. When you have no goal, you have an infinite amount of time. You can be idle. You can engage in foolishness. Problems will tear you down when you have no goal. Because you experience problems, now you're thinking about solutions instead of your goal. See, sometimes you encounter a problem that you don't need to solve. We sometimes think all problems need to be solved. That's not true. Some problems you can just let it be a problem and keep on going. For example, if your woman's a major complainer, you might think the problem is she's complaining. The solution is, how do I stop her from complaining so much? Or you could have a goal. My goal is to have a beautiful woman who doesn't complain and is very supportive. Well, I don't need to solve the problem of getting her to not complain. I just need to pursue my goal of having a woman who is lovely and doesn't complain. You don't even need to solve that problem. Some things solve themselves, but in the absence of a goal, you're screwed. But the problem is sometimes we take too long to identify the goal or we fail to get moving. Achieve something, even fail at something. Pick a goal if you don't have a goal. The wrong goal is better than no goal, and it'll always lead you to the right place. Remember, you're not problem solution, you're problem goal. If you encounter a problem, figure out, does it impact my ability to pursue my goals? Focus on the goals. If it doesn't have anything to do with my goals, low-key is not a problem. Leave it as is, carrying on. You might say, we call women delusional. Some of us are delusional too. I'm delusional sometimes. Delusional is where we are. Self-honesty is where we need to be, looking in the mirror, figuring out what's there. Why am I self-sabotaging? Why am I knowingly doing the wrong things, doing the things that hurt me, or failing to do the things that help me? Self-honesty, being able to tell ourselves the truth. The biggest issue is we're all liars. I said poor people are liars. They are for sure liars. But all human beings up and down the scale, we tell ourselves lies sometimes. But the question is it a powerful lie that's really going to hurt you? That's the sad thing. Like, for example, the queen faker. Every now and then I see people come in the comments and they'll say things like, oh, she's so much smarter than him. She's outsmarting him. And then I just think, God, that is an extraordinary level of delusion because the evidence is not there. Even in this interview, she's getting obliterated. And then you look at the educational background. Educational attainment is not direct one-to-one. You're smart if you have education. But if you go to certain levels and you can perform, it lets you know that you have a certain level of intellectual competence. We went through her history. She's failed her whole life. She recently figured things out after fucking up the whole time. And I just see, wow, it's delusion in her followers. And the best thing we can do is not ourselves be delusional and ourselves be lying to ourselves, because it will eventually hurt you. She actually was delusional and didn't tell herself the truth. That's why she showed up to debate me, got obliterated. And then someone I reached out to her like, hey, you want to do a round two? She was like, hell nah. Because she knows it hurt her really bad because she was exposed for the first time. She was going, and that's the same thing with Andre. He was boxing Benavidez. He was a world champion. He's a world champion. Motherfucker was definitely self-delusional, wasn't telling himself the truth. Because you just told me at the the post-fight conference, hey, why'd you lose? He said, oh, I'm a better boxer. I'm a better fighter. He's just a bigger man. What? Even Bridget said, aren't they in the same weight class? That's all there is to the story. You in the same weight class. Y'all weren't boxing each other for no reason. Y'all are the same size. You's a liar, boy. You delusional. You need to tell yourself the truth, which is, I don't have any power in my punches, and I ran out of gas, so I couldn't run from him. And that ball hit hard. And when he kept hitting me hard, my soul left my body. I saw this shit. I was sitting at the best seats in the house. That motherfucker, after he finished getting punched on and that bell, ding, ding, I looked at that boy's face. I turned to I was like, his soul gone. He ain't getting up after this door. It's over. Am I wrong?
You called it before they called it.
I called it before they called because I looked in his face. Because I've been in a boxing ring and I've been in a situation getting my ass beat when I knew I don't have the tools to do anything. They're too strong. They're too experienced. Their cardio's too good. I was in Texas one time, and I tell you, I will never just walk into somebody's gym cocky without knowing what's going on. Man, I walked in that gym. I just went in there to train. I'm in Texas. I just went in there to train. I'm watching a black dude in the gym beating the snot out of these white kids. I mean, just beating the crap out of them. But the white kids, they look like they weren't good boxers. And I was like, nah, you ain't going to just be flossing like that. Like, hey, y'all got some headgear? Yeah, you got a groin protector? Suit me up. Gym owner come out like, oops. Gym owner come out like, hey, man, do you have a license or anything? Like, do you have your fight card? What is it called? That damn fight, that passbook.
The
He's
boxing
like,
license.
yeah, he's like, do you have your license? You got your passbook? I was like, oh, I got it. I got it on me, and I did. Because I didn't walk in people's gyms before just through hands. And he was like, okay, well, all right, man, if you want to suit up. Man, I suit up. I get in there. I start off southpaw on him. You heard me? I saw southpaw. Bing! Hitting him hard with jabs. Bing! Bing! And I'm over here like, oh, yeah, he don't know shit about this. He's boxing them little skinny, scrawny motherfuckers with long hair. He don't know shit about this. I'm in there slick. Ali, bing, bing, hard jabs, right? And even his man's on the side was like, damn, that boy got a long jab, right? Then I didn't know anything about their clock because different gyms have their clocks, set up a certain way. And so you hear that, nah, nah, that means you have 10 seconds. And then you hear that, that means the round's over, right? So I'm in their gym. I ain't even figured out the clock system. I hear I was like, oh, I must have missed the 10 seconds. Okay, it's I'm like, oh, okay, the round's over. So I stop, I start walking away. Bing! I get hit in the eye. And I have my contact lenses on. And back then I used to fight with my contact lenses on because I never used to really get hit. I get hit so hard that I thought my contact lens fell out. This shit didn't even fall. It was still in there. I get hit so hard. I was like, bro, what the fuck? And the round was still on. So I finish out the round. I'm dazed. Then after that, I'm looking on the ground like, where the fuck is my contact lens? Shit is in my eye. Dude comes over like, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm looking for my contact lens. He's like, he's like, nah, it's still in your eye. And you can see because my eyes are red and the contact lens, you can see like the rim of it better. He's like, nah, that shit's still in your eyes. I was like, oh, okay, goddamn. So then I got to go back in for a couple more rounds. Shit is different now. I'm a little bit dazed. Motherfucker hit me hard. He done downloaded my whole style and shit. His cardio amazing. I'm like, damn, didn't he fight two niggas before I got in here? How the hell does he have this energy? And it was a different experience. And then I go back to, like probably like the third round. And I knew like I couldn't see myself, but I knew my face had to be saying, I don't have it. Like, there's nothing I could do right now. Like, I'm tired. I'm dazed. Like, once you get hit at a certain amount of power, like, and you're concussed, you're not sharp. Like, you can't slip. You're tired. Your punches are soft. Your feet coordination is off. All the tools I had were no longer tools. I was just a moving punching bag. And I knew Andre had that same motherfucking. I was like, I recognize that shit right there. Yo ass, you just call it, throw the towel. This nigga's done.
And right after you said that, they threw the towel.
They threw the towel. And I made people, and I've never lost when there's a referee. When it counts, I've never lost. And I made some people throw the towel. I remember there's this one big boy in Georgia. I beat his ass. His corner threw that towel quick. Hands was still flying. They threw that fucking towel. I wanted him to go night. Sleepy time. You caught up?
No.
Okay.
We have Darius said, thoughts on Chance the Rapper's work with the Chicago Public Schools. Also, did you grow up with Kendrick Lamar? Thoughts on Kendrick and Ice Cube?
I don't know anything about Chance the Rapper's work with Chicago Public Schools. I do know that Chicago Public Schools, Cook County Public Schools, whatever they may be called, it's a public school system. They're generally poorly organized, too big, make slow decisions. They have a terrible workforce. It's not a good idea. I don't think joining a sinking ship is smart. Second piece.
The second piece?
And mind you, he has no experience with schools. His name is Chance the Rapper.
Did you grow up with Kendrick Lamar?
Hell nah.
Thoughts on Kendrick and Ice Cube?
Kendrick is an overrated rapper. He has some great bars, but also I'm just amazed at how much he's been embraced by the leftists, and they overrate his bars. Like, his bars be like mid as hell, and more importantly, his word choice. I don't like when rappers will choose a word that's not the right word just because it rhymes. Like, I'm all about the purity and the literary, experience. He has decent musicality. I think he's extremely overrated, but he's great. He has good talent. He makes good West Coast music. I like him. I like his orientation. So much respect. I just think on it, like, as a hip hop purist, them bars be overrated than a mug. And the other
Ice
one,
Cube?
Ice Cube. Cube is real. Like, I remember when I was a young boy, because Cube was before my era. I'm not like quite old enough to have been like a real Ice Cube fan. I remember janitors at the school were like one day mentioning how raw Ice Cube was. I'm like, Ice Cube, stop it. But then I listened to some of his stuff when I was over. He got some great bars, and Ice Cube is a real one. Like, he's a very well-informed person. So I have a lot of respect for Cube.
Okay, on PayPal, we have EJ said tuition, peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
We also have on PayPal, Saint Diego said, I haven't been a member in a while. Apologies. Currently going all money in on my business, but I try to support when I can. Thank you for all the previous lives and your breakdown on occupied Palestine. I was over there earlier this year. Free Palestine. Peace to the saints. I've learned too much from you. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Peace to the saints. And, shout out to all the people who are having, their families being hurt by this. I was just talking to Immortal Technique this morning, and he has his old lady has some family over there that's been trapped in Palestine. So this is affecting a lot of people. This is one of the things that means a lot to me. And I'm a man of action. Go on.
I'm caught up.
Thank you. Fantastic. Now, we got the main camera on for this one?
Yep.
Okay. This is the male-female inverse value chart. Now, on this chart, you'll see that the male actually starts out below the female in value. And when I say value, we're talking about the dating marketplace. The female starts out up here, and you see her value shoots up rapidly, automatically, because it's not coming from her efforts or her work, but from her physical attractiveness that she's born with. So it shoots up rapidly and reaches a peak in her early 20s. Early 20s, not mid 20s, early 20s. Shoots up rapidly. Boom. Then it starts to decline rapidly. Conversely, you see there's an intersection here at age 25 where the male and the female are actually equally yoked. They have equal value to one another around age 25. But after that, the male reaches his peak in value. His value starts low because as a man, we expect you to be a protector, which is say big and strong. And to be a protector, you can not only protect physically, you got to be able to protect financially. Oh, someone got sick. Can you pay the medical bills? Kids need private school. Can you afford that? And so the male, as a young person, has to build up, might go through university, might go through training programs, might take certain courses to enhance his skill set. And as he reaches 25, he crosses paths with that female. He's on his up trajectory. She's on her down trajectory. Now, around the early 30s, he's got his stuff together. Business is booming. He figured out his career. If he's a professional, he's like, I'm an accountant. I got my degree. I got my clients. I'm making money. Things are going well. Or I'm a business person. I got my product-based business. We figured out sales. Revenue is coming in. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm still young enough. For example, Andre last night, he might not have boxed extremely well, but you look at his physique was extraordinary. Extraordinary. He's 34. So all of the tools in the man are at their peak when he's in his early 30s. And here's the thing. Because the man's value is based on his ability to contribute financially, to be a protector, to be a wise guide and leader, and those things come later in life, experience, wisdom, his value comes later but lasts longer and declines more slowly. Whereas the woman, hers being largely based on her externalities, attractiveness, fertility, it declines rapidly. And this infographic is actually imperfect. These lines, when they meet somewhere around age 70, they should actually be on the same line, finishing it out. Shout out to my graphic designer. We're going to have that amended. But these two lines should meet here and finish out in parallel. Reason being, at that old age, a lot of the unique values that the male or female offered are irrelevant. You're both wearing Pampers and you got fake teeth, okay? At that point, you're just happy to have somebody so you're not alone when you die. So at that point, it doesn't really matter. So what men and women need to understand is that a man is able to establish his value. It takes time and you have to work at it. A woman should understand that, look, love, At age 25, if you ain't locked them in by then, oh, you're about to have some challenges because he's at his peak here, which means that when he's at his peak, he has his choice of what he wants. And he's about to choose a woman who's at her peak. So the man who's in his early 30s is looking at the woman in her early 20s. So, baby, if you didn't lock him in by age 25, you're about to get leftovers. And you're going to be a leftover. So women need to make this decision quickly, and men need to know that they need to work on themselves, not wasting that money on intoxicants, bottle service, cigarettes, and all that goofy stuff. Spend that money on yourself so that you're valuable and you can get what you want so you can finish out your golden years with a worthwhile woman that you've spent a long time with and had a good family life with. Any questions about this one? Simple stuff, simple, straightforward stuff. Hit me.
I'm caught up.
Fantastic. Saints, I'll give you a little bit of time to send your comments, questions as we go ahead and wind down. Can you see me if I sit down here?
Sit down. You know. Yeah.
You can see me.
I can.
Great. I like the red blazer, man. That's different right there. That's different. This man then came in the branded drip right here. You feel me? Yeah. You know, I was thinking we got the pins when people get confirmed, and these pins are really special because this batch was made by Daniel John. And so now that he's passed away, this is kind of that last batch that'll be for those founding members who get the one that was, produced by someone who really is a saint, really is a saint, lived his life as a great man, lived well and died well. And very few people, I believe, probably die well, especially when they're in their early 20s. So I think he exemplifies a lot of what we stand for. I just always mention, because it's remarkable to me that the man was sending customer service emails for his product-based business on the day he died. That's hustle. You feel me? Yeah, the man was focused. And that's why, we shouldn't be making excuses, and that's the level of manhood that we should be at. And we used to do consultations. And when he would come to me for a consultation, he would never one time, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm hanging in there. None of that. Never one time did he ever complain. There's a few times he's like blacking out during the consultation just because you might be going through chemo or the effects of advanced cancer and your energy is so low. So he's just like blacking out. He can't focus. He's like, hey, there was only one time he's like, hey, I got to go. I got to go to sleep or something. I don't have the energy right now. I apologize. And that's the kind of guy you respect because he's a hard man, in the true sense. He's a real one. In this era where you're told, oh, what are your emotions? Express your emotions. Do you have trauma? And you got people seeing a therapist for 10 plus years. I'm like, God damn, they ain't solved nothing in 10 years. You still going? Like, so he's a real hero to me. And, when we get to pin these, put these pins or badges on great men, it'll be cool that badge has a history to it, How does one get confirmed? We, over time, so one, we used to do the confirmation ceremony at the conferences, which we stopped doing the conferences. I stopped doing the conferences. And so usually when we have a big event, we have everyone there so that you can have audience to witness, what you've done. It's over a period of us observing you achieve your goals, be a greater man, and exemplify our values such that we are A, very proud of you organizationally, and B, you're confirmed, meaning that we could sign off on you. Like, you could go fly to Texas. Hey, Quay, who do we know in Texas? And I could say, hey, Corey's he's 100. Like, open your house to him. Let him stay in the house with your kids and your wife. And so once we have a good amount of intel on you, we know that you're solid as hell. We live for you and would die for you. That's when you confirm we pop that pin on you. We usually do it at events. We'll probably do a confirmation ceremony at the Men's Trip 2024. That'll be epic. So do remember, I need to pack some of those.
Okay.
Yes.
Amir's back on PayPal. He said, peace to the saints. I've been gaining a lot of wisdom from you over the last 2 years, saints. Thank you as always. Curious, I hear you say in a real way sometimes. Is that LA slang? I catch myself saying that often now.
Yeah, that's black folk slang from Southern California. Sugar Free would say that a lot. And often when you listen to the music from Southern California, you might hear things and think like the rapper invented it, but it's just an expression of the slang, right? So if you listen to like YG and he has a track like Bick and Back Being Bull, I was saying that like 10 years before he was a rapper. Like 10 years before he thought of being a rapper, we were saying that in the neighborhood because that's just how you talk in the neighborhood. And so often they're just popularizing, commercializing, you know, LA culture. But yeah, in a real way, that's really how they talk out there. And we mean that though. Caught up? Fantastic. Saints, it's been a pleasure to have this time to fellowship with you. Oh yeah, do let us know about what you think about the format and if you can see the TV well. Until next time. Yeah, they heard that. You can cut it. We're good.